Hi everyone, my name's Anne Marie. Welcome to this card making demonstration. Today we're going to be making an 8x8 square card using lots of Anna Griffin things, including stamps, the interchangeable lace punches, some dies from the Paper Tricks 2 kit, and I'm going to be starting on an ivory blank card base which measures 8x8 square inches, and all the details of the items that I've used I'll put in the description box below, and if I can put a link of where I've got them from I will, so then at least you know where you can get them from, if that helps. Don't forget, if you have any comments or questions, please put those below as well and I will get back to you. If you're feeling a little shy, you can always message me, and you can always find me on Facebook as well. So the first thing I've done is I've cut a layer for our card base, and I added double-sided tape to it, and I'm just attaching that to our card base. Next I've got a layer of olive card. Now this was from an Anna Griffin kit which I don't think is available anymore at the moment. It was the corresponding cardstock in plain colours and everything mixed and matched. So I've added double-sided tape to the back of this, and I'm just going to layer that onto our previous layer on the front of the card like that. Now the next layer is the exciting layer. So I've taken a layer of pink card, and using the pink peony ink pad from Anna Griffin I've stamped some swirls and flourishes. Now these were from a stamp set that Anna had quite a long time ago. However, if you have any flourish stamps, anything that's flowing, you'd be able to do this with them. After I've stamped them, I've let it dry, and then I've used the Cosmic Shimmer PVA pearl drops in vintage pink, and I've just added a few drops along the actual flourishes, and then once they were dry I've added double-sided tape on the back of my layer. So I'm just going to add this on top of the matten layer that we've just put on the card. So as you can see, I do this with my tape for quickness. I've been pulled up on this before, but it's literally for quickness while I'm on the TV. So I'm going to place this the right way around onto my card base, and so that you can just see the colours of the matten layer around the edge. And that's what we mean by a matten layer. If it's ever said or written, that's just the couple of layers below your main focal point. So the next thing I've done is, using the Paper Tricks 2 kit, I've cut out 2 strips of card in the matching pink that I've stamped on, and then I've cut out 10 die cuts of the scallops. Now the dies in the Paper Tricks 2 kit are meant for some of the embossing folders, but you don't have to use them like that. Just because you get something to use with something else, you don't always have to use it that way. So what I've done is I've cut out 10 of the scallops and I've attached them on the back to the 2 pieces of pink, and I'm going to literally add these to the centre of my card, but I'm just going to leave a gap between them when I place them on. So just bear with me while I peel the foam off, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one roughly about there, I would say. Now I've already cut these to size just for a little bit of easiness, and I'm just going to measure where we're going to put the second one, roughly about there, I would say. So I'll just peel off the back of the foam pads for this piece as well, and hopefully you'll be getting an idea of what we're doing. And place this one at this side with a little gap there. There we go. And then I've got a strip of just normal card in a dark burgundy colour, and I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on each side like that, and then I'm just going to place it on the middle of the two scallop layers that we've just added, and then I need to trim that end, which I will do just to make it nice and neat. I'm going to trim it from the reverse. There we go. So that's the centre of our card started with our layers. The next thing I did, I cut out a double row using the interlace punches, and this is it's like a Celtic design, as you can see. The strip that I cut out first was 1.5 inches wide, and that went through the punches, and as you punch one side, you turn it round, punch the other, and that leaves you that much between the two punches to make a great border. Then once I punched it out, because I've got the patience of a saint, I added pearl drops to all the corners, I don't know if you can see that, of the punches. And the pearl drops are the same in the vintage pink as I put for the base on the stamped flourishes. So what I'm going to do now is add this to the top of, I'm just going to trim it before I add it, because I think it might be best. So just trim that. I can always trim it again if it isn't straight, which it isn't. So I'm just going to add the glue now on the back of this. If I was doing this not quickly, so not on camera, I would literally take a paintbrush and add some of the glue to either side, being nice and careful so that we could get it nice and even. However, I know you want to see the finished results, so let's pop that on there through the centre. As you can see, it just sits nicely, and you can see the colour coming through the ribbon strap, for want of a better word to call it. So we'll let that sit there, and we're just going to trim that edge because it looks a bit messy, and I don't really do messy edges. So that's the start of our centre, building it up. The next thing that I've got is a sentiment, and I've stamped this from one of Anna's range of stamps, and it's literally just on matching cream card to the cream of the base card, so that it all tones in. And again, I've used the pink peony ink pad. So I'll just take the back of my 3D foam off, and I'm going to pop that in the centre roughly like that, so it sits nice and proud on top of our scallops, if you can see that. And then a card wouldn't be a card without a few flowers, so what I've done is, in corresponding colours of the deep burgundy colour and the pink, I've made a couple of flowers, and then in the green I've made some leaves as well. So I'm literally just going to add a little bit of glue on one part of the leaf and add the flower, and then I'm going to add a bit of glue underneath, and I'm going to add the leaf that way, I think, next to the sentiment. And I'm going to do this exactly the same with the other flower. Now, I've done tutorials before about how to make flowers, but these were using the peony dies. I've used them before on another tutorial, and I just think they're a great shape and really nice for when you're making lots of layers of paper to make a layered paper flower. So those two can sit either side of our sentiment, and then just to finish it off, in matching paper of the pink paper, I've made two flowers again which are slightly smaller, and these are going to go just at the other side of the larger ones, sitting on our lattice border, and that finishes our card off perfectly, I think. And that is our finished card. Now, I really hope you've enjoyed watching this demonstration. If you've got any questions or queries, please don't hesitate to ask. Now, looking at our comparison boards, because again I've been asked about the sizes of cards, this is the 8x8 inch card that we've just made, and on our scale of comparisons it's the largest card. So if you're dealing in the 12x12 paper and then we go down to 8x8 to give you an idea, that's what size this card is. So I hope that helps with the comparisons. Thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you again next time.